Scary as fuck. But apparently not recently, because they would have seen a bunch of 8-year-olds in cages.
Cages.
That's because there are only 8-year-olds in this neighborhood, and they're all in cages.
Imagine 14-year-olds showing up to make out and smoke, and then they're like, what the fuck?
5 8-year-olds.
They don't tell anyone because they don't want to get in trouble for smoking. They're like, no, if we tell them, they're going to know that we were smoking and making out. So let's just leave them. It's fine.
Should we just chat with them? Should we offer them cigarettes?
Nah.
Should we include them?
Let's get the 8-year-olds high and then leave, says 14-year-olds.
It might make them feel better about being in cages.
I will say this. Growing up in the country and backwoods, fucking mountains, right? If you were 8, 9 years old and you're in the woods hitting sticks on trees and teenagers come to do shit, they're just gonna stay.
Yeah.
They're gonna say they're gonna see you, they're gonna talk to you, you're gonna be for some reason you're gonna be friends with a 14-year-old and you're 9, 8 years old.
Yeah, definitely. But
it's just life.
In cages in a basement of a half-built house is a little different than playing in the woods.
Yeah.
Maybe they're playing a game.
Teenagers are stupid.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that is true. Their brains are not developed and it's not their fault. They just are.
They're very stupid, and surprisingly I'm not a teenager.
Dean finds Ben and Sam finds the real estate lady who's also a changeling. They have an adult, which is also horrifying.
Was she the originator?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, she's the changeling mother, or mother changeling, whatever it's called.
The real estate lady is in the basement downstairs with the children, and Sam, blow torches the changeling mother. But not good enough, not permanently.
It's a little bit of blue torch.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Enough to not die, not enough to kill her. Lisa is putting Ben to bed / getting him a snack for the 4th time, but she sees his reflection on the coffee table, and he's all scary monster looking, and she doesn't know what's going on either, but she's freaked out. Dean and Ben are breaking out the other kids, and little Ben is awesome. I would never just give a child to John Winchester, but I feel if any child just naturally came ready to survive John Winchester's parenting, it's Ben. Ben is incredible at this episode.
I know, he's so good. I wouldn't wish that on him, but if he happened to be in that situation.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wish John Winchester on him. I just think that he would do okay. He is equipped.
I think that Ben would have issues, though. I think Ben is very much like Dean. Dean was able to survive it, but look at all the
he's all traumatized.
Trauma that man. That man is so messed up.
I think if you gave John Winchester visitation every other weekend, so he could come over and do all that stuff. But he Ben still got to go to the same school. He still got to go to school on a regular basis.
That's
he would be
more accurate.
Lisa's look, I had sex with you and a person that looked a lot like you who was 20 years younger than you. Let's just I can't believe you all make me think that John is Ben's dad. That's awful.
I try not to think about it.
Sorry, everybody. I wish we could blame Jen, but since she's actually not here to defend herself, and she did kind of say it as a joke, and it kind of just got super big on TikTok.
In her defense and my defense bringing up, it is, I don't headcanon it at all, but it is a really great idea for a fit.
Yeah. I think that's kind of, it's not what we want to believe. I don't headcanon it, but, it's a possibility.
It's a terrible idea, but it's an idea with potential.
Yeah.
Especially if you know how to make depressed, which I do, and I'm going to write this fic now.
All right. Follow your dreams, JJ.
Ben's, reassuring the other kids. Sam comes running in, and he's like, there's some other changeling, it's the real estate lady. I guess the little changelings eat the moms, and the big one eats the kids, and that's why the kids have all been kept in cages this whole time. Which does explain why they kept the children.
So do y'all think that the changeling was trying to repopulate the changeling population? Was that the goal of killing off the dads and making more mom changelings so that they could all feed on the moms and the kids or something?
I don't
maybe this was just an effort.
Plan was here. I really don't.
I don't know anything about changelings, so if I'm treading into bad ground, please tell me.
Oh, these changelings are very different from the mythological ones, so their motives could be completely different.
I'm going to die as soon as I say this. The changelings in this episode are more closely related with your point of repopulation, to the changelings in My Little Pony than in mythology.
Okay, cool.
I don't know very much about My Little Pony, but I am interested in where this is going.
I know a bit. My Little Pony has a lot of pop culture references, and I got really into researching the pop culture references to see if it was ever appeared, if Sam and Dean ever appeared in the background of an episode. They do that quite often. I do know that there's a character in it that is a changeling, and the thing was like to repopulate the earth.
Huh.
I think.
Good to know.
With changelings, like repopulate the changelings on Earth and replace everyone with changelings. I don't know. I just read the synopsis of like the episodes, like trying to find Sam and Dean in the background for my podcast. Be like, oh, look at that. That happened. That was a thing.
I've seen like changelings in 2 main places, actually 3 if you count Merlin. I only count the changelings if they actually use the concept of like replacing a person like with a creature. Because sometimes in fiction they use the word changeling, but they just mean shapeshifter.
Sure.
Fair enough. Lisa grabs her keys and tries to leave, but the creepy
What's she gonna do?
Dean saw them. I think she was just gonna run and abandon her scary child.
I'm out.
Maybe needs
know
like
what? That's
mental help.
Monster child. Lisa's out of there. She makes quick decisions.
You know, that's valid. I would do the same thing. If my kid turned out to be this creepy whole face monster thing, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Fuck
Six Flags. Bye.
I can make more, okay? Like,
That's what Job said. I can just make more.
That's what Job said. Good.
Plus 10 of them, I can make 10 more.
But yeah, so the creepy kids at Dean's that like all like looked at Dean in the park are like waiting outside her house so she can't leave.
Or their parents.
Who knows? They probably already died. Like,
They're the dead ones.
yeah.
Their parents are just not on the cast list because there's a budget.
Katie's mom is blocked in the bathroom again. The bathroom door lock really saves this life in a big way in this episode. Sam and Dean are fighting the changeling mother, and Ben has been delegated to saving the other children. He's doing great, but just like the thought that you could yell at an 8-year-old to save a bunch of other kids is just so we were raised by John Winchester.
Take your brother and run outside. Now, Dean, go.
Ow.
Like, with something wicked. Like, what do you mean I can't trust this child with responsibilities?
Just near John Winchester trauma showing.
But he puts his little jacket over the glass. Like,
Yeah,
he
he's
takes
prepared
initiative.
somehow.
He's so good.
The
I
fact
don't
that Dean
know.
doesn't take off his own jacket to do this is just floors me. I mean, like, I was watching this, but like, it's a jacket that's 3 times the size of this kid's jacket,
I'm
and
not sure
I'm like,
Ben's jacket's gonna cover the window.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm contractually obligated to wear at least 4 layers. I can't take this off.
Dean's like, no, this is an antique.
I only have 2 layers on today, so I can't spare this one, so I'll be down to 1, and that's not enough layers.
I don't want you to get red dirt on my jacket.
maybe it's just that, like, Dean just sees Ben as a small him, and is like,
Oh,
that
I
jacket's
mean,
fine.
he can
It's
do
just
anything.
me.
Yeah.
And small.
Well, Dean's like, my jacket's oversized, so Ben's jacket's probably too big for him, too. It's probably bigger than it is.
We're doing great, guys.
But Sam tortures the changeling mother, and that somehow kills all the small changelings. It wasn't clear, it wasn't explained, they just all disappear, so I guess that worked.
Hive mind, I guess?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Very convenient, though. It means we don't have to, like, murder more children on screen.
It would have been really convenient if Sam had, like, found that in his research. That would have been super. I would have, like, been fine with that. Like, you could just, like, mention that in the research, but nope, didn't mention it. It just, that worked. Okay, moving on.
Telepathic pyrokinesis. You gotta love it. Sure.
Just discovered a new thing.
How would they have known unless they went and checked on all the other houses? Like, oh, is your changeling gone? Here's your actual kid.
Yeah, he's actually,
Here's your
you know?
actual kid.
I'm assuming that they drive all of the other kids home, and then, like, Ben's last.
It's daytime when he gets home.
No, Ben has his own car. Ben just gets in his own car and then rides.
I think they just kind of let the kids go free. Like, they open the
I guess
doors.
they're all
Like,
in the neighborhood.
Go home, you, like, feral cats.
go.
He doesn't take Ben home until the next day. Like, it's full on sunlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
And she comes running out like she gave a crap. She's like, did you just wake up, honey? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Your kid
But-
literally, like, disappeared in flames in front of you. You're not at the police station?
Maybe she was cowering in her bathroom.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, everybody went to sleep in their bathroom. That's after all the kids died.
There's water in there.
Adrenaline rush and then crash.
Exactly, yeah.
Lisa's just like, what the fuck is happening? And Dean's like, I'll tell you, but honestly, like, you probably don't want to actually know. And Sam is the most awkward awkward human being ever in this moment. He's just like really awkward. Like, he's like, I'll give y'all some time. And like, it would have been way less awkward if he just like hadn't said anything. If he just like waited in the car silently without drawing attention to the fact that he was going to wait in the car. Or just like go inside with them. Like,
they kept Dean and Sam very separate like, and I know because he was trying to do this thing with Blondie, and you know, he was also trying to figure out how to get Dean out of his demon deal, so there was a lot of stuff that he didn't want Dean a part of, but like very contrived. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah. Lisa, Ben, and Dean all go inside, and Ben is listening to the supernatural knockoff rock music on his little Walkman, and Dean is giving Lisa the monsters a real talk, and Dean asks again about Ben, and Lisa's like, I did a blood test. There was another guy, a bar back from a biker bar, and I just don't believe her.
Sure.
Lie.
Yeah, okay, Lisa. I'm sure you have your reasons, but okay.
Here's the thing. If it was some guy in a bar, how did she get his DNA in order to do the test?
I feel like, I don't know, if it's a local bar, she could go back to the bar. Like, maybe this guy knows that Ben exists. Like, maybe this guy fully is aware that Ben exists and he pays child support and everything. Like,
maybe she keeps trophies.
Maybe he wasn't a wandering vagrant like Dean. Maybe he actually lived there.
What if it was Lee? If it's dumbheading and it was Lee. Dean coded very much like him. Ben would be very much like him.
I like that so much better than John.
Yes,
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. I accept that. But Dean has been dead.
So the point is moot.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It is Dean. It's Dean. Dean looks a little disappointed about it, and Lisa notices, and Dean says her life is never going to be his life, and he says the only thing he'll ever leave behind is the car. And again, Dean's going to die in less than a year, so I guess, like, you know, he doesn't really have time to, like, fight her on this, like, even if, like, what's he going to do? Even if Ben was his kid, and Lisa was like, yeah, it's your kid, he's still going to die in less than a year, so I guess it's okay for him not to, like, linger on this. But Lisa's like, even if Ben's not your kid, he would be dead if it wasn't for you, and that's leaving plenty behind as far as I'm concerned.
Which is cute.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Yeah. It's so nice.
It's very cute and nice. Yeah, very cute
and
nice.
Like, so true for all the other children that they've, like, ever saved in the last 2 seasons.
She's also trying to convince him to stay, so she's all like, you can be his fake daddy. Yeah.
Lisa has issues to say. Like, she was fine 9 years later, some random lay showing up at her door, and then being there for like a week with her kid and be like,
it was the best night of her life. She just wants another chance at that. It's fine.
Like, you can stay. Are you okay, bestie?
Maybe she's trying to make arrangements for Ben to sleep over somewhere so she can, like, have some time with him. She's like, look, don't leave. I know my kid's here, but...
Yeah. He goes to bed real early. Yeah.
I know he needs intensive therapy.
That's 100% what I thought was happening. It was like, they're just going to have their weekend anyways. Like their sexy weekend, even though Ben exists. Like,
those cages are still there. I can stick him in one of those cages for a while.
You can
in the garage.
He's 8. He goes to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock at the absolute latest. Like, I don't know when 8-year-olds go to bed, but it can't be that late.
I have no idea.
Plenty of night left. But it's fine. And then Dean, like, comes back and he's like, Ben's a really great kid, and I would have been really proud to be his dad, which makes Lisa kiss him. And then, she offers to, like, let him stick around for a while. And Dean's like, I can't. And he's like, this isn't my life, but really it's because he's dying. And if he stays here, then he's going to use his whole year. And he's got stuff to do. And then, back at the motel, what is this? It's the other plot line, the one that has thought of by absolutely anybody for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Nobody's thought about this. Basically, since Dean called Sam, was like, there's a cave.
They've been busy.
Sam's on the phone. He's checking up on a fire that happened on November 24th, 2006 in Lawrence, and someone named Pardecker died, and then someone named Robert Campbell, who we can assume is one of Mary's relatives, died on July 19th, 2001, and one of the people that Sam's checking on is a cardiac surgeon who ironically died of a heart condition, and also someone named Miss Wallace, and someone named Ed Campbell, and Sam's shocked. Everyone who ever knew Mary, friends, relatives, her doctor, etc., have all died. And I kind of forgot about this. And as far as like we're going into like the Winchester, it's like, well, what happened to all these people? Like, where were they in Supernatural? I forgot about this part.
Most of them were dead.
Yeah,
if they weren't already dead by the end of whatever this show is going to be, then...
Well, they very specifically mention an uncle, and according to the comic books, Jeremy...
you cannot bring the comic book canon in there.
It's canon.
Yeah. John Winchester murders Mary's brother in the comic books. Just straight up murders the dude.
Ironically,
before or after he gets the gravestone,
doesn't he put him in a car and shove the car off like into water?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that happens in John's journal also, I'm pretty sure. Like one of Mary's relatives.
The comics and the journal are the same.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Good to know.
The comics are just a comic version of the journals.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, that sounds really familiar, and I kind of remember, John like putting a body in a car and then like pushing it off.
Absolute insanity. Like it's the height of John's madness. Like I remember I was reading that and just thinking like, they somehow made this dude worse. I didn't know you could do that.
It's incredible.
They tried so hard.
What if Sam found out by calling around? He's like, yeah, we suspected John Winchester. And he's like, thank you.
John and Sam were absolutely 100% suspect in like Mary's death and Jess's death, respectively. Like,
yeah, well, she dies and then he leaves town.
Yeah,
like 2 hours later.